Howdy, folks. If you've got the link to this video, it's because you are a friend of mine or you're one of my students, so don't get chummy. No, at the end of the day, what I put together is a Excel sheet that I'm going to be sending to you if you're my students, or I've sent you the link so you can actually look at kind of how the sausage is made with the one I've got online. Now, effectively, what this is a bunch of calculations based upon how much you weigh, then effectively what percentage of your body weight you're lifting whenever you're doing different movements. So the equations for relative body mass, that's effectively the percentage of body mass that I have assuming, now mind you, it's plus or minus, there's a lot of error all over the place in here because it's something I did, but it gives you at least a concept of what percentage of your body mass you're lifting when you give different movements. So for example, your typical feet flat bench press, or sorry, push up, you're gonna be lifting 64% of your body weight. Now, if you're to elevate the feet 1 foot off the ground, now you're lifting about 70% of your body mass. So we then extrapolate, if you're just doing it with one arm, you're doing twice as much because you only have one arm that's doing the lifting. And so it gives you an idea of kind of what it's relative to someone's bench press numbers. Then for the body weight low row information, it's the same thing. It's effectively extrapolating that. We also have handstand push-ups and vertical pushing movements later on, like pike push-ups. And then same thing when it comes to squatting, like what percentage of your body mass you're actually lifting, what you're lifting if you're doing a single leg true pistol style squat, lunges, and so on. So from there, my source formulas from the peer review that I could find. Now this is for just trying to get a basic max sheet, but for those of you guys that are professionals, this can be useful because you can go to the drop down and you can switch it over and say feet flat, and it gives us the coefficient of body weight, the percentage of their maximum it's going to be. So for specifically in this person, their estimated max is 150 pounds. So then it puts that over there in a percent. And then it gives us the goal repetitions rounded down to 80% of it. So the idea of what you would figure would be a pretty high RPE set, meaning it's about a 7 or 8 out of 10. Now, mind you, some folks will be able to do better or worse. These are all estimates, but at least it's something you can go and run off. Now, for those of you guys that are my students or individuals that are getting this program as a way to just try to utilize it, this is where the sausage is made. So you're going to enter in your body weight, you're going to enter in your bench press max, and you're going to enter in your squat max. So you've got those numbers from there. Now, from here, we're going to go ahead and have you pick movements where you're going to see what would be your approximation. So in theory, based on my body weight and my bench press max, I could maybe do one push-up with my feet elevated 24 inches off the ground with a single arm. Now, I want to pick something that is going to keep me within the rep range that I'm looking for. So instead, notice this is 6 to 12. So one arm feet flat is probably going to still be a little too difficult. So let's go, for me, it'll be one arm hand elevated 12 inches off the ground. That in theory is going to put me right in the rep range what I'm looking for. So then each week I'm going to go ahead and enter in the number of reps that I did on the first set, second set, third, fourth, and fifth set. Each of these is just for 5 sets. I just put that in there simply. If you're one of my students, I want you to do all 5 sets. If you're professional, you probably know better than me. It just gives you an idea of approximation and a way that you can set this up for your athletes. So for the vertical push, we'll go ahead, we'll come on down. So we've got handstand push-ups, pike push-ups with our feet elevated and from our knees. Now I'll see what I look like here. Now notice we've got an error because over in my source formulas, I probably don't have a percentage yet written in for it. And because of that, it's freaking out on me. So these are things that I'm still working on that I'll have numbers that I can then go ahead and put in there. So for now, let's just say this is going to be 70%, it'll be 80%, and it'll be 60%. Now I know a vertical push is obviously different than a horizontal push, but like anything else, it's going to go ahead and transition on over. So in theory, it figures I could do 14 of them. Now my military press is definitely not 315, but that's like anything else. You can go ahead and change the math as you need to. From here, we've got pull-ups, we've got horizontal pull. Now notice I just figure your max bench press is the same as your pull-up strength and your row strength, which is once again an assumption, but you can go ahead and change those numbers raw here. Instead, it's just extrapolating the bench press max is the same, you could now put in whatever your max number is. So let's say I figure my pull up max strength is 300 pounds, and then my horizontal row strength is going to be, we'll say, 275. So it'll change the reps accordingly to give me what I should do based upon how I'm doing things with my own body weight. Now, for squats, it turns out it's really, really easy. Notice the reps just get to be insane. So if I go to a true one leg body weight squat, it's still super easy in theory, given my body size and strength, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be that good at it. And so you can go ahead and play around and figure out what's probably going to be the movement that's going to work for your athlete as far as what's going to give them at least a bit of a training effect. I'm still putting in the percentages for the core movements along with a couple accessory movements. But if you're one of my students, now notice day one starts off with a vertical. Now we switch over, or sort of the horizontal push. Day two, we're going vertical push. The rep range changes for both exercises. Make sure you pick around until you find something that's going to work for you. For the pull exercise, we start with the horizontal pull, then we go to the vertical pull. For the single leg movement, we start off with, and then we go into our squat movement. But the same basic ideas go align, rep ranges are working within, and then day three, we're going to go ahead and have really just a super high rep set day, just pick push movements. Same thing with horizontal pull. Now, obviously, both as the students and or the coaches that are listening to this, you can change up that grip width. You can have them go good old triangle push-ups. You can do normal. You can have them go more of a wide grip push-up. Sorry, you can't see my hands because it's too far out to the side of the camera. So make sure that you understand that this is just a basic template. You can do whatever the heck you want with it. You can go ahead and add things, remove things. But this is just something you can go and work with. For one of my students in my classes, here's a program you're going to run. Your body's a barbell. You can do something with it. If you don't have access to a pull-up bar, that's fine. Just figure out what you can do. Don't know if you're going to have access to going over to a playground right now or something else where you can go ahead and rig up a way to do pull-ups or bodyweight low rows. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this. For my students that are going to perhaps say that they can't figure out how to use the program, and I'm going to have this video linked over from YouTube so they can watch it multiple times. I want you guys, if you really need help with it, in theory, you've watched this entire video, so you need to tell me who the main character in Escape from New York is. If you tell me that, I will go to bat with you and I will come and help you with your program. If you can't tell me who that is, you obviously didn't listen to this video. But yeah, for those of you guys that are strength coaches watching this that have the link, you can edit it. Throw in any comments you can see that I can make this thing a little bit better. Please feel free to share this with any of your friends or anybody else that's looking for something they can do while they're stuck at home or they don't have access to a gym. And stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for listening, and bye-bye.